Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, Mr. Msah Wobiyase, Mr. Shailesh Lutchman, Mr. Spiwe Mchunu, Mr. Piyush Kandalwal, distinguished guests and online viewers, Namaskar and welcome to the 10th melodious episode of Antartaan, The Inner Tone. I am Geeta Haridev, and it is an honor and pleasure to be your program director for today's program. Antartaan is a series of interactions between two artists about the experiences of synchronization of the inner tones or internal rhythms. Today in our midst, we have two dynamic and skilled artists, Mr. Msah Wobiyase and Mr. Shailesh Lutchman, who will be performing for us. Just a little about our distinguished artists before we actually get to listen to them. Mr. Msah Wobiyase, his stage name being Bhuda / Steshi, his genre of music being Afro-pop. He started singing at an early age and he has sung more than 50 songs. He's performed in all cities in South Africa, also having performed with blessed heroes and teenagers. He loves music and he lives music. Mr. Shailesh Lutchman has studied classical Indian music in India from the year 1992 to 1998 at the Gandharva Mahavidyalaya in India. He's performed with Jagjit Singh, who was an Indian music composer and musician. He also performed in all major cities in South Africa. So it is our pleasure now to welcome Mr. Msah Wobiyase and Mr. Shailesh Lutchman as they share with us the experience of synchronization of their inner tones.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar. Good afternoon, Mr. Bhuda Musa.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and you?
I'm well, thanks. And I want to take on this opportunity of thanking Piyush sir, Dr. Yogi, Spiwe Mchunu, Geeta Haridev, and yourself for having me on board. And it's indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here. And I am interacting with you for the first time online, and it's a proud moment as well for me.
Okay.
Bhuda, I believe you're a singer, musician, and a writer, composer, and using this platform to share our experiences. What is inner tone and internal rhythm?
If I may define my inner tone, you see, especially in music, if I define the inner tone of myself, it's where the music comes from. It's a base, you see. Before the music becomes the one that we play in frequent modulation, all the music starts within the inner tone. That is where the root of music is founded and it is grounded.
Sure, I agree.
Yes, that is the inner tone and internal rhythm.
Yeah, for me,
so before the music is complete, it starts within the inner tone. The inner tone is the root of music.
Sure, I agree with you.
Yes.
With regards to myself, I think my inner tone is more my creativity. It's my soul, my personality, and
personality.
Yes, and by creating music and planning, writing music, composing music, you have to look into your inner tone, because my energy sources will come from my inner tone. But my source of energy is my inner tone. And if my inner tone is positive, with positive energies and vibes, I will be able to create positively my music, my writing, my compositions. And also it will bring out my personality in my work as well.
Yes, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how, I'm going to go on to the next question. And how do you get it in your musical practice or your performance, your inner tone?
It helps me to align and arrange, and arrange the music in terms of the verses, the choruses. All those comes through my ears because of the inner tone, you see, to be able to flow in lyrics in a better way. That is how I do get my musical.
So basically, it's the disciplines that we follow, and we use when we studied music or studied under any guru or teacher. We apply those disciplines in our practice and in our performance as well.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Msah, how do you feel and experience this inner tone?
Sometimes how am I going to put this? When you flow through your music, there's this thing that we call emotions. You see, that balances. You see, that make you connect with your inner tone. You see, when you sing deeper, it's where I find more and more of the connection within my inner tone.
So actually, it's the passion.
Yes.
It's a passion that we have, for performance, for music, or whatever the art may be that we are in, and that passion helps us to experience,
yeah,
what we do. The way we feel, in our hearts, in our soul, and we bring that out in our performance. So it's a very passionate experience that we share.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You want to tell me anything about, like, any one of your experiences on stage with regards to, like, bringing out your passion on stage, or in any of your performances?
Oh, yes, of course, definitely. Oh, my experiences within the stage, most of the time I find it very fascinating. It's because it's where I do something that I love. Music is my passion, you see. It's one of my burning, it's one of my burning desire, you see. When I perform at the stage, it's where I express that I need to deliver to the audience. I need to connect so that I will get a positive response from the audience. That response make me to excel when I'm performing.
Sure.
Especially especially the positive response, because sometimes you may find the audience that is not giving you a positive response. You get me? As an artist, you know, but you see, kind of things happen. You see.
No, 100%. I agree with you, because I also, experience. It's difficult to really explain, when how you bring out your passion and that experience, because the only time you will feel that is when you in that moment in your performance.
Exactly.
So it's really difficult to explain that, but yeah, it's all about passion, and the way you feel at the point in time, when you're in that zone of your performance. Yeah.
Easy.
So I'll go on to the next question, Msah. So do you feel that you are also, an instrument to feel an experience or invoke this inner tone?
Well, yeah, even though I want to be honest, because you see, I never perform live with the instrument. You see, like playing a guitar or playing a saxophone. You see, but it's something that is created within the inner tone, because everything you can hear music echoing through that deepest inner tone. You get my point?
Yes. That's
what I'm trying to say. You get the music playing around your mind, playing around your mind through that inner tone. It keep on echoing. So you feel that you feel that moment, the inner tone that you need to. Most of the time, it becomes an outer tone, because it's something that I need to deliver externally. Sure. It mustn't end up within my inner tone, but it's something that I need to express it on the stage.
Yes, definitely.
That I flow with the instrument as I sing, as I keep on singing.
No, correct. I understand. And it's like, as a vocalist, I feel that my vocal cord is my instrument.
Exactly.
Yeah, when it's used as an instrument, because we have our musicians that support us by creating, by basically creating this rhythm inside us to bring out whatever we're singing or performing. So that makes us, or vocals, the instrument.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's a very intense experience. When you have to synchronize your voice with your instruments, your rhythm, your string instruments, and all that, and to be on par, on pitch, in line, with the music, and to bring out the lyrics or the poetry in form of your vocals. So I also agree that, and I feel that we are the instrument as well in whatever we are doing. If we are vocalists, so our voices are the instrument.
Exactly.
So Do you feel that this inner tone gives you a sense of assimilation and absorption into the universal energy, which is unlimited and infinite?
Oh, yes. It is. Especially once you are in front of the audience, you see. Once I'm in front of the audience, I get more power and energy to express my passions, because I'm living music. It's my life. It's something that I adore, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So with that point of perception, I make sure that I perform at my best.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Likewise, the energy that you know we experience as artists is so vast and unlimited, that it gives us that courage, you know, to perform to our best of our ability, and sometimes even beyond that.
Exactly. It's
so
true.
And it's very true. So do you feel that your performance is not done by you only, but some greater something greater force that is bigger than you, supporting you as a power or energy source?
Of course, most of the time I'm driven by passion. So passion is greater. It's greater and bigger than me personally. You see, something that is driving me always when I'm performing. To get my point,
Yeah.
you see, it gives me that power and energy. You see, to perform at my best again. You see.
Mm-hmm. And that's true, because sometimes we have a bad day. You know, in our performances, we perform out of the many performances that we do. Sometimes, we may have a bad day, and we may not be in sync. Sometimes, when we with our musicians, and we, there's a divine intervention basically that just carries us, from that platform to a level where everything is synchronized well, and definitely makes us feel that there is, another energy, that's guiding us and supporting us when either too tired or we've had a bad day or so. And it's the devotion that we give to our arts, and in the time of need, I think, the dedication and devotion, it comes back to help us in a way.
Exactly.
So there is a higher energy, that's guiding us. Exactly. Basically. Yeah. How do you feel the synchronization of inner tone with the expectations of audience or organizers of an event?
Hey. Sometimes you become nervous. You get that pressure. You see that pressure all over me. You see, but I need to beat that that pressure at the end of the day. You see, once I enter the stage, I need to be on fire always. You see, once I enter the stage, I need to be on fire always. You see. Audience always expect, you see, good performance.
Yeah.
Our fans always expect good performance all the time. Once Bhuda stage is on stage, they want me to crack it. You see.
Has there not been any time where you felt that it's going to take you more effort to get your audiences glued to your performance?
Yeah, sometimes, but you need to deal deal with there's a way when you perform, when you're at stage, to deal with those challenges, because I can say those are the challenges. But you see, at the end of the day, you perform. You can't run out from the stage without performing this.
No, sure, definitely. I mean, I've experienced it, in my performance many of times, because in my performances mainly we do, like the gospel that you would say, bhajans. We call them bhajans, ghazals, semi-classical, and a lot of times the larger of our audiences, they like the very happy, we call them chutney music as well, so yeah, my kind of performances are for a niche market. But when we have to play to a function, a wedding or birthday party, whatever, so we have to accommodate for all kinds of audiences. And there's been times where, when we start our programs, and I would start off with a few bhajans, then we go into a ghazal, and then we notice the audience, because obviously that audience contact is very important, and sometimes we find that the audience, some of the guys, they would not synchronize with you because you're not giving them what they want.
Exactly.
And it's very challenging, because to please everyone, it's not easy, and so what I had to do was I had to try and accommodate everyone, so if we have a 3-hour program, then we'll do probably the first 20-25 minutes of bhajans, and then we go on to maybe another 45 minutes of ghazals, and then the latter part, we give everyone the folk music, the chutney music, and things like that. And yes, audience is very important, because our audience can make our performances very negative, and it can affect our performance as well, or it can give us a boost where it will actually build us up to the climax of our performances, because many times when the audiences started, at the middle of our performances, they started enjoying the performance, and when we give them what they want, and then towards the climax of our performance, we find that, wow, it has been like, a top performance, So yeah, that interaction between the audience is very important. That energy that they give us, basically they transfer that energy onto us. And likewise, when we perform to a certain audience, that energy is also transferred to them. So they interact with us based on the energies that we give each other on stage.
Exactly.
So that's very important. Did you at any time feel like, a conflict between your inner tone and outer expectations of performing or presenting?
Yeah. Yes. What normally happens, see, question arises between the two, you see. I normally ask myself, am I going to perform at my best to keep them happy? You see, those I'm talking to myself before even I get into the stage. That, you see, I'm asking myself those questions. You see, questions. You see, it has to. As I'm saying, that a question arises between the two.
No, it does. Especially when you have to do something that the kind of so-called forced to do, because it's not what you want to do, but you got to please the audience, so you have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also, there are times when before we go onto stage and we have difficulties, probably we have a sore throat or pick up a cold.
What's the point?
Absolutely. So it affects us, because now we got to decide, we have to continue the performance, but are we going to bring our scale lower, to be in a comfortable zone that we have to perform and please our audiences. So we have this conflict with our inner creativity, our inner tone. Well, I won't say all the time, but we do have it. We experience it, and it becomes, it becomes difficult. But as artists, we have to, give off our best, and we have to overcome, whatever anxieties or feelings we're going through at that particular time.
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Bhuda, what is your goal or aspirations that you want to achieve internally through your journey of music?
My biggest goal is to become the voice of the society through music. You see? I aspire myself, as I hold on to my dreams, because music is my dream, it's my passion. You see.
Sure.
Till I reach at a greater level.
Now, with me, moving forward with music and where I want to take my music, for me, it's all about love and passion, for the art. So I would love to create through my music, love, create passion, and for those who are passionate about, their arts, to, encourage them to take it to the highest level possible, and also to, whatever performances I do, like for people out there to enjoy it, and we as musicians, as artists, whether you're a singer, whether you're a painter or a sculptor, you bring out your passion in the work that you do. And we do this for people to acknowledge and to see that, we're passionate about something, and for them to, love what we do. And basically it's to create love, peace and harmony, amongst everyone. So Msah, it's been nice, having this interaction, and getting to know our inner tones and things like that. So is there anything else you want to share with me, your experiences other than what we spoke about?
It's not gonna be an experience as such, you see. But you see, as we are in this journey of music, we know where we are aiming. You see, we got ups and downs, you see, of the industries. You see, where sometimes you feel that you need to be at a certain level, you see, but through some challenges that we are facing within the industry, you see, hoping that one day things will go exactly beyond our expectations and aim, you see. for our passion to be put in a universe space, you see.
Sure.
Because we need to be universal. We should not end up performing here in South Africa or a certain country. Our music needs to be taken in different, international, you see. Yes.
Sure.
That is my experiences.
Yeah, my most memorable, moment was when I performed with the late, I call him the god of ghazals and music, the late Jagjit Singh Ji, and I was at college at the time, and I was the only foreigner that performed in a group, in a choir group with him, and it was such an honor to meet with him, and I learned a lot from him in that short space of time, and yeah, and he always advised anyone that you must try and achieve the highest possible, and even my gurus as well said to me, you must try and be better than what I have become.
That's true. Exactly.
Yeah, but if you fall, you will fall on my level. And yeah, it was very exciting, very how much to say, down to earth, person that gave me such advice, yeah, and and the most important thing that I was told, by my guru, even by Jagjit Ji himself, was that when it comes to music, we must gauge ourselves by the time we've started, studying. So at the time when I started, although I was 22 years old, but I was a 6-year-old child in music. Because
true.
we have a long way to go in life, and for gurus to tell us, I mean, I regard them, they are our gods of music. And if they tell us, even in the next 7 births will not be enough for them, to reach what they have to reach. It just shows how humble they are, and this is something I've learned, that, we come across many musicians, international, local as well. But the one most important thing is that we have to humble ourselves.
Exactly.
And yeah, we have to humble ourselves because there's so much to learn, and we'll carry on learning. There's always room for improvement. There's room for learning, and we'll carry on learning and learning. There's no end to it. There's no stop to it. Yeah, and I carry that in my heart, and I always try, wherever I perform, to do the best of my performance, and for people to love and enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm really happy for you, for the lesson that you got from the guru, you see, because you see, they aspire us most of the time, you see.
Absolutely.
At least you've already had that chance to perform with him. You see, it's an ideal opportunity that even myself, I wish that one day I will perform with somebody I admire, somebody I that inspires me most of the time. You see.
Most definitely. The thing is, if you're passionate about it, you're clean about it in your soul, in your heart, it will definitely happen. Most definitely. Yeah, it will, yeah. And in saying this, it was a pleasure, chatting to you online. And I hope we could meet sometimes, and collaborate with whatever we have. Thank you all so much for having us. And back to you, Geetaji.
Well, that was quite an interesting conversation there. I was so engrossed in it. With we only get to listen to these things when we're given that lifetime opportunity sometimes. And I must really congratulate y'all for having come thus far in this beautiful thing that we call music. To get so absorbed in it. And I was listening very, very attentively. So congratulations to y'all, and may y'all grow from strength to strength where music is concerned. Once again, congratulations. That will be wonderful, Mr. Msah Wobiyase and Mr. Shailesh Lutchman. We'd love to hear you perform. Since you've been talking so much about your experiences with music and everything, we'd love to hear you perform, and I'm sure the viewers that will be viewing y'all would really appreciate that as well. So come on, from y'all, give us something from your side. A good performance, something to remember.
Yeah, the being a hini no, in Cosum Bella High. Yeah, the being a hini no, in Cosum Bella High. If Mungu Baba Ben Mama, in Cosum Bella High. If Mungu Baba Ben Mama, in Cosum Bella High. Yeah, the being a hini no. Impossible high. Yeah, being a hini no. Impossible high. Fungo baba ben mama. Impossible high. Fungo baba ben mama. Impossible high. Fungo baba ben mama. Impossible high. Gina di talu tufu nubumbona le bumnyameni. Haya bumnya. Gina di talu tufu nubumbona le bumnyameni. Minang di bone bungono ngolabani. Isa sama tunzi no me mini beba. Minang di bone bungono ngolabani. Isa sama tunzi no me mini beba. Nebungon, Angola, Daniel, my tunes and all my million beba. And it's no, I have many. Now let go, my father, Pumilanga, Gia Saba, Yamano, and Noblani. It's no, I have many. Naling on my father, Pumilanga, Gia Saba, Yamang Noble, and Noblandi. Then it's on the thing that who can ye, Ebu can ye, is on the seas of Pumalella, Ebu can ye, is born in Sassacagazilla. After then is on the thing that who can ye, Ebu can ye, is on the seas of Pumalella, Ebu can ye, is born in Sassacagazilla. No, I have many. Nalang Mangai Pumilanga, Gia Saba, Yaman, Jola Noblande. I have many. Nalang Mangai Pumilanga, Gia Saba, Yaman, Jola Noblande. Thank you so much. This is the end of my performance. I hope you enjoyed my track.
That was a beautiful performance, Mr. Mobisani, and we really, I'm sure the others that are viewing enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for that. So, Shailesh ji, ab aayi hai aapki bari, and it is your turn now to actually give us your performance and enthrall us with your music. It's up to you.
Thank you, Geetaji. होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो बन जाओ मीत मेरी प्रीत अमर कर दो होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन पायल छनकाती तुम आ जाओ जीवन सांसें देकर अपनी संगीत अमर होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर सोना 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 लागे रे केसरिया बालनवा मोरी पधारो मारे देश रे पधारो मारे देश पधारो मारे देश रे पधारो मारे देश सावन 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 आवन कर गए बोली बलिए गिनता गिनता किसी गली गिनता गिनता किसी गली मरिया गलियां की दे पधारो मारे देश रे पधारो मारे देश सुना सुना आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन में पायल छनकाती तुम आ जाओ जीवन में सांसें देकर अपनी संगीत हमारे संगीत अमर कर दो मेरा गीत अमर कर दो धन्यवाद थैंक यू
You need a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Well, I must say you'll need a huge round of applause for that absolutely beautiful performance. Thank you so much, Mr. Msah Wobiyase and Mr. Shailesh Lutchman for that absolutely beautiful, mesmerizing performance. And I must say, as I said before, we wish you very, very well in your music career. And we've come to the conclusion now of the 10th episode of Antartaan, the Inner Tone, but it's not over yet. We still have our vote of thanks, and it is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Spiwe Mchunu from the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban to render the vote of thanks. So it's over to Mr. Spiwe Mchunu.
Namaskar, greetings to all of you. On behalf of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, I am honored today to deliver a vote of thanks on today's 10th episode of the program Antartaan, meaning the inner tone. Allow me to thank our online guest, Mr. Shailesh Lutchman Ji, a singer and a musician who had a very wonderful and sterling interaction with Mr. Msah Wobiyase, a singer and a musician. You know, what I picked up today is that all musicians are same. The difficulties that they are facing when they are on stage, the fear, the anxiety, I believe all musicians are facing the very same thing whenever they are going. It is called a stage fright. So to Shailesh Ji and Wobiyase Ji, I like to say thank you very much for having such a wonderful, touching interactions on the inner tone. So allow me now to thank Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Director of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, Ms. Gita Harideyo, Danyavaji, welcome to the program today. Sri Piyush Kandelwal, thank you, Ji, for all your technical support you rendered this evening. To all our online participants, we'd like to say, please visit and like ICCR Facebook page so that you'll have all the cultural updates for cultural activities organized by Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center in Durban. To all our online participants, thank you once again for attending. To Msah Ji, Shailesh Ji, Gita Ji, Dhanyavad, have a wonderful evening. Namaskar.